Floyd Mayweather has Mayweather Sr. in his corner. This is the guy who taught him pretty much everything. He taught him his defense. He taught him how to punch. He taught him boxing, period. What do you make of Mayweather Sr. being in his corner? Will it throw him off at all, or is this a good decision from Floyd?
I don't know whether it's a good decision or a bad decision. Certainly from a public relations standpoint, it's a good decision because, as you know, he and his father sort of went at each other tooth and nail, hammer and tong when Mayweather was fighting for HBO. So we know that the relations between the two is not the best. So from a public relations standpoint, I think it's an excellent decision. Whether it throws him off his game, it's hard to believe. I mean, Mayweather is so on his game. I mean, as on his game as any fighter alive. So it's hard to imagine that anybody in his corner, whether it be Roger Mayweather or whether it be Floyd Mayweather Sr., is going to really disrupt him. He knows exactly what he has to do, and he has a way of figuring out his opponent and defeating him.
Now, in his last fight, Mayweather's last fight against Miguel Cotto, we suddenly thought, wow, Miguel Cotto has a lot left, until he fought Austin Trout, of course. But with that fight against Floyd Mayweather, we saw Mayweather get hit with a lot of punches that, frankly, we haven't really seen ever in his career. We may have seen some of those punches landed against some opponents, but not to the extent and the quality and quantity that he was hit with. He staggered back a few times. He was against the ropes a few times, unwillingly, because it was due to a punch from Miguel Cotto. Is there anything that Guerrero, granted he's a southpaw, but is there anything that Guerrero could take away from that? I'm not going to even ask you about the scouting report, but simply the fact that, well, he's there to get hit, it appears. His defense is still great, don't get me wrong. But you know what? He got hit against Cotto a lot.
Cotto is slipping, or has slipped, perhaps we should say. He's in the twilight of his career, wonderful career though it's been. Mayweather, however, is also slipping. He is not a young man. He's dependent on his speed. He's dependent on his reflexes. He doesn't fight frequently. There's inevitably going to be slippage just through the passage of time alone. So, of course, Guerrero has seen that. He's watched that. He's studied the tapes. I mean, he knows what he's getting into. I mean, he's going to press Mayweather. That's frankly how Guerrero fights. He's going to be in Mayweather's grill insofar as Mayweather is going to let him be in his grill. But Guerrero is going up against a man who is stronger, maybe not taller, certainly more experienced, better competition, used to fighting at this weight, and of course, the greatest pound-for-pound fighter alive today. So no matter what Guerrero's strategy is going to be, no matter what Mayweather's age is going to be, Guerrero is going to have his hands full Saturday night at the MGM Grand.
Mayweather, of course, is 43-0 with 26 knockouts. Guerrero 31-1-1 with 18 knockouts. Now, Guerrero, as you said, he seems to be the smaller fighter. He certainly does not have any sort of upper hand in the reach department because he loses 2 inches to Mayweather. However, he is 6 years younger. In his last fight, which was very convincing for a lot of boxing fans, he absolutely destroyed Andre Berto. Hard to even believe that Berto won more than 2 rounds. Even a round some weren't even giving him in that fight. He stayed up in Berto's grill. Now, Berto, granted, is not Floyd Mayweather. They are not in the same class. The only thing that they may share is actually the same weight at times. That might be it. They're 2 completely different fighters. Berto's a power puncher, and he pretty much let Robert Guerrero get in his grill, stay in his hip pocket the entire fight. Mayweather's going to have to keep that at bay, in my opinion, with his jab and lead right hands. The question is, and he's always been in he has tremendous conditioning. He works out like crazy, odd hours, 3 a.m. he'll go for runs. 1 in the morning, he'll lift, he'll box, he'll do whatever to stay in shape. Does he have enough conditioning to be chased for 12 rounds straight? Granted, it won't be throughout the entire round, but you got to think with at least 2 minutes and 10 seconds in each round, he's going to be chased. Guerrero is going to be stalking him, at least I believe, like crazy, and trying to stay in his hip pocket. Is his conditioning good enough, and can he keep Guerrero at bay?
And he is the premier counterpuncher. I mean, Guerrero can stalk all he wants. He's going to land his punches. It's going to be exciting especially in the beginning of the fight, as Mayweather adapts to the southpaw style of Guerrero. But Mayweather is a great counterpuncher. I mean, Guerrero can stalk all he wants, but Mayweather's going to be he's a sharpshooter. He's going to be picking his shots. Guerrero is going to. You've seen Guerrero after his fights. I mean, he's never had a fight where he hasn't looked beaten up. And these are against fighters who are not the caliber of Mayweather. Mayweather is, again, unsurpassed. He's really the best fighter alive. So Guerrero can have all the strategy he wants. He can press Mayweather all he wants. Mayweather's got the strength, he's got the resilience, and he's got the ring smarts to really handle whatever it is that Guerrero's going to be presenting.
Very quickly, it seems like this is the age that even the Rocky Marcianos were suddenly going downhill, Robert. Floyd Mayweather's fighting Robert Guerrero. He's a very good fighter. He is, in my opinion, not on the same level, not many are, as Floyd Mayweather. Everyone has a puncher's chance. A puncher's chance. The punters have a punter's chance. Every fighter has a puncher's chance. Do you believe that Guerrero can rock him enough and possibly put Floyd Mayweather down, not for the count, but down on the canvas one time in this fight?
Possible. We know that when Mayweather fought Sugar Shane Mosley, Mosley caught him, rocked him, his legs wobbled, but Mayweather didn't go down. Mosley was was comfortable fighting at this higher weight. He had been for a while. Mosley was also a power puncher, which Guerrero is not. Perhaps he'll catch him, perhaps he'll knock him down, but no perhaps. You can be sure that if Mayweather goes down, Mayweather is going to get up, and Mayweather is going to finish the job that Guerrero started.
So it appears that you're taking Floyd Mayweather. I happen to agree with you, the man that has won in 5 weight classes. Do you think that it'll come via decision, as it appears so many of Mayweather's fights have?
Another possibility, however, is that it does get stopped in the 9th or 10th. I mean, I do think Guerrero is going to get a beating. I think his eyes are going to be swollen. His face is going to be scuffed and bruised, and it wouldn't surprise me if they stop it in the 9th or 10th round.
Now, it seems like you've played this out through your head a few times. How exactly do you think it'll happen? I mean, like, will it happen, not even, the TKO when someone has to step in or he's down for the count? I believe someone will have to step in. I believe it'll be a decision, but with your analysis, it seems like the ref will step in and possibly stop it. However, how will it happen? I mean, is he just going to outbox him? Is he going to land lead right hand after lead right hand? Is he going to have to fight on the inside? What do you think?
Is going to be left landing right hand. He is going to be counterpunching him. I mean, again, Guerrero's going to put up a good fight. I mean, there's no question about it. He's a grinder. He's a tough fighter. There's no quit in Guerrero, but there's even less quit in Mayweather. And there's no question about it. He's got the heavier hands. He's got the experience. He has probably more to lose, frankly, which is his unbeaten record and his reputation. Mayweather is going to deliver. I don't know exactly how he's going to deliver, but Mayweather is going to deliver when the time comes.
Robert Exel, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com. You guys can follow him on Twitter at boxing_com and follow his fantastic writing, obviously, at www.boxing.com. Robert, enjoy the fights. Thanks so much for the time. Get some sunscreen, and we'll talk to you soon.